In today's video, we are going to be comparing the 2nd gen and the 3rd gen Honda CR-V. There are a lot of little subtle differences, but there are also a lot of really big differences that you might not even notice unless you actually compared them side by side. So it's time to compare these two generations of the CR-V. What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of JDM for All. In today's video, we are going to be comparing my lifted 2nd gen Honda CR-V to a 2010 CR-V. It's going to be a really good comparison because the 2010 is the generation right after my CR-V, so you can really see where Honda changed a lot of the things, like the looks and everything, from the headlights and the basically everything. Everything was changed. It was a big change. The 1st gen to the 2nd gen was a pretty good change. The 2nd to the 3rd gen was a really big change as well. So we're going to compare the 2010 to my 2003 2nd gen CR-V. So the 2nd gen CR-V is basically 2002 to 2006. And I believe the 3rd generation is 2007 to 2011. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments below, guys. My CR-V is lifted on a 1.5 inch lift, and it does have bigger tires, so it's not a perfect comparison of the generations, but you'll still be able to see the difference. So first, let's start with my CR-V, the 2nd gen CR-V's headlights. These are pretty round. They don't really look too aggressive. And I do like the look of these. They do look modern. They look more like the 7th gen Civic headlights or the EP3 headlights. I do like this look, but they're not as aggressive as the 3rd gen CR-V's headlights. So let's check out the 2010 3rd gen CR-V's headlights. These are definitely more aggressive. They do look great as well. But this front end is totally different from mine. If you guys look at the grille and the bumper, the headlights, like literally everything has changed. Let's actually kind of compare them. Yeah, there we go. As you guys can see, the headlights on mine are just super round. These look somewhat of the same shape, but they are a little sharper and they do kind of cut into the grille more. So these CR-Vs do look great, and the grills are totally different from the grill on my CR-V. As you can see, it does kind of have the same type of grill in the center right there, and then it has a grill that goes around the bottom, and that really is different from the design on my CR-V. And I was wondering if maybe Honda thought that these needed more air, and then I realized that there's no grill down here. So if you guys look at the 2010, there's a grill in the center, and then there's a grill that goes across the middle. Now if you look at my CR-V, there's a grill in the center, and then there's no grill in the middle, and then there's a huge grill at the bottom. So basically it looks like on the 3rd gen, Honda just replaced this grill right here and put it up here at the top or in the middle, which is just a different design. It definitely does look interesting and cool. And yeah, there's no grill at the bottom. I wonder why Honda did that. It must be just for looks. I'm not sure, but as you can see, they did actually block the top part of this middle grill. So it doesn't even look like this top part is functional at all. And then this bottom part is functional, and obviously this is as well. So that's probably one of the biggest differences I can actually see from the front end is, yeah, the grill that's down here on mine is up here in the middle. But yeah, it still has the fog light spots. I'm sure there is a model, maybe in other countries, that has fogs right there. I have that as well on my CR-V right here. It would be really cool to actually get fogs right here or in the center right there. So those are some differences that I noticed right off the bat. The headlights are kind of shaped the same way. but these do look way more aggressive. So now I'm going to compare the rims of the 2010 third generation CR-V. I believe these are the stock rims on the 2010. I don't think anything's really been changed on here. Now, as you can see, these are the rims, and it looks like they're 17s. That's actually pretty big. Mine are only 15s on my CR-V, as you can see right here. And then if you guys look at these, they're pretty big compared to mine. That's actually a big jump. Now, I'm pretty sure the 05-06 CR-Vs do come with 16-inch rims, so it's not that big of a jump considering that the last years of the second gen did come with 16s. The design is somewhat of the same though. If you look at the design right there, it's like 2-spoke going all the way around to make a 5-spoke design. Mine is the same way. It has 2 spokes going all the way around that make a 5-spoke design as well. Definitely cool. So you can tell that these are definitely somewhat related. So looking at the side of the CR-Vs, you can see that my CR-V has a plastic trim piece going across basically the middle of the doors, and this one, they just got rid of it completely. But there is still a chrome trim piece that goes across the doors, basically at the same spot that mine is at. At the bottom of the doors on my second gen CR-V, there is a lot of plastic. There is on this CR-V as well, and it looks like it's kind of designed as well. There's like there's a little bit more thought put into those compared to mine. And there really are a lot of similarities, even though they're a little differently designed. As you can see, my CR-V does have a huge plastic trim piece around the wheel wells, whereas the 2010 has a plastic piece that goes along the wheel wells as well, but it is a lot thinner. So looking at this 2010 CR-V, the bumper is definitely designed very aggressively, whereas my CR-V is just, yeah, it's pretty plain. I mean, there's not really much going on. Whereas the third generation just looks totally different. So if you guys are new to my channel, my CR-V is an all-wheel drive. That basically means if I am going off-road or driving in snow or dirt or sand or anything, if the front wheels start spinning and lose traction, the rear wheels will kick on and start working with the front wheels, and all of the wheels will start working together to get you out of the situation. And this 2010 third generation CR-V is a 2-wheel drive. There's probably not much difference from the exterior, from the 2-wheel drive to the all-wheel drive. But yeah, I do like these CR-Vs. I think they're awesome. I really don't see these modded as much as the second gen, maybe because they're newer, but the second gen, I see them all the time. I always see them modded, and they're all over the place. Basically in my area, I've already seen like 3 or 4 second gen CR-Vs modded and lifted. That is definitely cool. As you can see, the 2010 CR-V does have taillights that are kind of shaped the same as mine. They do go up and down, basically just like my CR-V, even though they're a little different, and they do kind of pop out more at the bottom. And you can see on mine, it does have the same shape, definitely is a little different, and it does not pop out as much at the bottom. Obviously, one of the biggest differences between the second and third generation CR-V is this rear mounted spare on the back. It really does make it look more off-road and a little more rugged, and you can see that this CR-V does not have one. There is no spare on the back of this one. So now let's compare the rear bumper. This is the 2010 CR-V's bumper. You can see that it does have some of the styling from the sides. And here's my rear bumper on the second gen CR-V. So both of these CR-Vs do have reflectors on the back of the bumpers. You can see that right here. This is my CR-V, has 2 reflectors, and here is the 2010 CR-V. So this 2010 CR-V bumper really does look a lot newer than my 2003 bumper. Both of these CR-Vs do have a sunroof. That is definitely nice. I remember my 97 first gen CR-V didn't have a sunroof, and I wanted one so bad, so I made sure that this CR-V, this second gen that I purchased, actually had a sunroof and was an EX, because my first one was an LX. And also, one of the things that I had to have with my first and second were all-wheel drive, And I am very happy that this one does have all-wheel drive, because with all of the mods that I've done so far, definitely am able to enjoy this CRV being lifted and be able to take it off-road and actually try to compete with my brother's Jeep. And obviously my brother's Jeeps are more capable than the CRV, but the CRVs can handle a lot off-road. One more thing that I did notice that is very subtle is obviously my CRV mirrors are painted. That's probably because it's an EX. I don't know what trim this CRV is, so it's not painted, but I did notice that these mirrors are styled a little different than mine. Mine is really chipped up and it's not looking so good. Definitely need to fix that. Really quick, one more thing that we are going to compare. Really doesn't make much difference, but these are the door handles. This is my 2nd gen CRV, and here's the 2010 3rd generation CRV's handles. And I forgot to mention, guys, I did wrap these in a video a while back, and they're still looking pretty good. They definitely do need some wax or something to protect them. They are fading a little bit, but yeah, they're not looking too bad. And you can see that on the 3rd gen CRV, the rear emblem is mounted right here. And my 2nd gen CRV's rear emblem is mounted like this. Definitely doesn't look as nice as the 2010s. Another difference that most people probably wouldn't notice is that the 2010 CRV has its antenna where a shark fin would be, whereas the 2nd gen CRV does have a old school type of antenna on the front fender. And the last difference I noticed between the 2nd and 3rd gen CRV is that the 3rd gen does have a rounded off window, and all of the windows are kind of connected. It does look really cool, and it is a very unique design, whereas the 2nd gen kind of has the windows separated.